What it do? Welcome to my half-baked Witchhunter plans for 0.4. Let's start off with what I want to do. First off, we don't know what the Atlas is going to look like. So one of the main things I wanted to go for is Mind Over Matter and play around with it. I think armor and energy shield will be much more fleshed out because that's what the druid is going to be designed around. So there's going to be a lot of things that we can take over here that will be more defensive and that may play into elemental type of damage playstyles. That's my initial noob thoughts. And let me just preface this. I'm by no means an expert. There are many YouTubers out here that are way better at build making than me. I like fucking around with the build. I mean, it's fun. This is what I get enjoyment out of. Actually, you know what I hope is that by me making this build, most of you watching will probably be better at making builds and can offer suggestions to me so that I won't be so cooked. What I really hate doing is playing meta builds. And like by meta, I mean like I really hate copying somebody's build because it's good and just rolling with it. It just takes the fun out of the game for me. So that's my thoughts. What I'm thinking about is a galvanic shards that does bleed and fire damage and lightning combined with Zealous Inquisition. I am thinking about, hear me out, taking away Decimating Strike and this node and going full in on Sorcery Ward, since it will cover like all the damage types except for I think standing on something like ground effects. So I'll have that. I'll be running armor, energy shield, armor pieces, and I will then take Mind Over Matter. So I'll have damage is taken before mana, before life. I have some of these notes here where damage that I do take is recouped as mana. I was going to take this too, more maximum energy shield. And then I was thinking I could go up here for some of the elemental, ignite, shock, lightning, energy shield nodes. That's my like knee-jerk reaction. There's some nice elemental nodes over here, and this could probably be more efficient. The reason why I went this route was I wanted to grab, like, as I'm leveling, I'm probably going to be doing something that's just going to clear fast, like Lightning Arrow, and then once I get like a better crossbow, I'll maybe switch to Galvanic Shards. But Lightning Arrow is probably what I'm going to go off of, and I wanted to go this route because of attack speed, and then I'm not sure, but like attack area damage. This sounds cool because I want to run Heralds, right? I want to run Herald of Thunder, and I really love Herald of Blood. It's so much fun, especially because it can chain, and you socket. This is Herald of Blood tech. That's not really. This is not a secret, but you put Bursting Plague in there, poison, corrosion. I'm not sure if I need to do this because that's breaking enemy armor, but basically the Bursting Plague then puts bleed on the other things, and it makes this cascading effect. It's super fun. And Herald of Thunder can proc this, can proc Herald of Blood. I've tested it. Now, maybe my tests were not accurate, but I'm definitely seeing lightning strikes. The lightning strike applies bleed. When the bleeding enemy dies, this procs. Now, I don't think this can proc Herald of Thunder, but Yeah. But anyway, this attack area damage, I think, should affect this. I'm going to be running Plasma Blast. So it is an AoE, so this should be affected by it. This should be affected by it. I'm guessing the attack area damage only affects the AoE part. I don't really know. It doesn't affect this. This is not AoE, even though it totally is. But what we really want is we want our clear things to like come into play there. But I went this way because there's a lot of damage here. It's reduced attack speed, but you know it's 48% more damage. We get Crushing Verdict here. I know it says 60. That's because of this node. This is like giving you more effect of that. This is some nice crit, at least in my opinion. So crit hit chance, and then let me just take this out. I can't read it. What does it say? Critical hit chance, damage bonus, stun build up with crits. It's like, what's not to like there? Now, this is where maybe my build starts getting scuffed, in my opinion. I'm going for flammability, damage with hits against ignited enemies, right? And then down here, increase fire damage, ignite duration, fire damage, damage with hits against ignited enemies. So like when we are shooting our enemies, we're applying ignite, and we're going to be applying shock. And so our lightning damage and is technically also doing fire damage, and so we should be doing lots of elemental damage here. Like it should work together, and in my head it works. I don't know, maybe this is not worth taking, but skill speed, more physical damage seems to make sense. There's some things around here that could be good. There's more AoE if you've killed recently. We don't care about melee. We don't care about that. There's some more ignite stuff. This area of the tree, you know, it looks really empty. So this is all going to be dramatically changed. So on Friday, I don't know, do they release it a day before? Anyway, it's going to be massively changed. So this could be way, way cooler. But I think these nodes over here are pretty cool. You got 5 to elemental resistances, 30% increased elemental damage. You got 40% increased elemental damage if you dealt a crit recently. More crit hit chance. This duration, magnitude, I guess magnitude does mean shock, because shock is a non-damaging ailment. So that could be good. You know, we'll have to play around with it. Now, when I started looking at this, and I started thinking, what are my like defensive, what am I going for? You know, this is definitely not as complex as POE1, but Arcane Surge is a thing. And Arcane Surge grants you 15% increased cast speed, which we don't care about, but 20% more mana regeneration rate. Okay? Why would we care about that? Well, what you can do is you can take this. Life recovery from regeneration is applied to Energy Shield. Energy Shield does not recharge. So, one of the things you could do is you could say, okay, I'm going to take Arcane Surge, and then I'm going to say, take this. Arcane Surge grants life regeneration rate instead of mana regeneration rate. And then all that life regeneration rate is now applied to Energy Shield. I'm not the first one to think about this. I can't be. We could then take... we gain Arcane Surge when we deal a critical hit. Because that's another thing I need to figure out is how do we get Arcane Surge? We've got an increased effect of Arcane Surge. Okay, here's more when we get a chance to crit. So that's 5/5. And this is 10. So that's 15% chance when we crit. So we need crit hit. to get Arcane Surge. Now that's not the only way, because we could go for life regen as well. Arcane Surge will just like boost that. I think we want to take something like this calibration. Man, is that really Arcane Surge? That's it? Surely they're gonna do more with that. I think the Sorceress has some like Arcane Surge stuff. So up here you've got maximum energy shield, maximum life converted to energy shield. That could be something we go for. I'm not sure. We don't care about that. Got a lot of fire stuff up here. Night Steel damage 15% faster. Penetrates fire resistance. Now there is that Rakita's flow or something where it's like inverts elemental resistances. I'm a broke bitch. Like, I was a broke bitch most of the league last league. I did save up and got a Headhunter eventually, but I want to maybe prioritize getting that a lot sooner. So I'm not sure that I could afford Rakita's flow. It maybe something like that will be easier to get. I'm not sure. Flame Archon, type of Archon buff with spells. Elemental damage with spells. Yeah, we don't care about spells. But more lightning stuff, 2% increased lightning per 10 int, which we will probably be running int if we're going armor and energy shield. The evasion stuff is going to be harder to get. This tree is scuffed. I'm trying to refund points, but again, I'm broke. The evasion stuff, like, we totally could go for some nodes right around here for evasion. Like, there's the where is it? Arm and evasion. There are some evasion nodes around here. Movement speed evasion. There, of course, are the Giga evasion nodes over here. Energy shield and evasion. Energy shield and evasion. I'm transitioning away from that in my current build. I'm literally trying to learn by doing. And also, I am treating you, YouTube viewer, as a rubber ducky. In tech terms, like, you talk through your problems, and sometimes you can solve your problems by talking through them. So, thank you for viewing. Got more max energy shield over here. Why is light radius a thing? I know that there's some things where you can apply light radius to other things. I wish the game was more dark to where that would be a thing, and that'd be cool. You'd just see stuff coming out of the fog of war. That'd be neat, but it ain't. We got a lot of Ignite stuff over here. So, like, one of the things that I'm thinking about, the Druid is going to have the bear and the dragon. The dragon may be what we go for as an offhand, or like a our secondary weapon. Reason being, if we're speccing into lightning and fire, we've all seen the abilities. The dragon is already doing lightning and fire damage. It may be a really clean fit for this build. So, you know, we're clearing with our regular Witchhunter stuff, and then boss fight happens, we pop into dragon form and do that flame breath that just builds, ignites, and then all of our other ignite nodes and elemental nodes play into that. And it could be that's how we deal damage to bosses. Because in my opinion, what I have struggled with the most has been bosses. I think that you can turn almost any ability into a good mapping ability. That's not really a challenge. Slap Nova projectiles on there, slap Fork, slap any of these chain things onto your ability. It can clear. It may not be the most giga awesome thing, but you could figure it out. But bossing it itself, and that That's one reason why Lightning Arrow is such a powerful tool, is because all you had to take was Tornado and Lightning Rod, or Stormcaller, whatever the fuck it's called, and you instantly had a bossing melter. You didn't have to do anything else, whereas you can't really run Galvanic Shards as a bossing ability. I mean, you can probably try to figure something out where you're shoving your crossbow right up the boss's ass and pulling the trigger, but it doesn't really do that great. Whereas Plasma Blast, Shock Burst do much better on a single target boss, if you can get it. And obviously, I'm not even geared correctly here, but my point being, there are builds that can take one singular ability, add 2 other supporting abilities, and you're done. Whereas I'm having to use at least 2 separate abilities to kill something. Now, maybe you said, Will, you sound like a hypocrite. You just said that Lightning Arrow has to use like 3 abilities, but it's not the same. Like, you shoot before the boss even comes out. You shoot your lightning rods. You shoot your tornado. The boss comes out. You fire a lightning arrow. You're done. Whereas this one, some people have run Shock Burst with Galvanic. Another strategy: prime your Plasma Blast as soon as the boss comes out. You pop him with this. If it doesn't do big damage, you're kind of boned, and now you have to play the boss fight out with Shock Burst rounds. You can definitely scale this up more, but one of the problems that I had there, Shock Burst, one of the main reasons it was scaled last season was it had an ability where you did more damage the closer you were to the boss. This was a great way to die. If you're a noob or you're not a giga gamer like me, this was a great way to die. The boss could sometimes say, "Oh, you know what? Thanks for getting close to me." Whack. I don't want to be near the boss. I want to be a screen away. That is my plan. Galvanic Shards, most shotgun type abilities like this are fine for clearing. They don't do great damage from far away. That's my consternation. So, if this looks interesting, or if this looks giga scuffed for a league starter, let me know. I want to play this all the way through. I want to kill Arbiter of Ash. I want to have fun with this and see where it goes. And I'll just release update videos on how it's going. And now this is going to be, well, I'll be able to play for like the first week and a half, but then going out of town for Christmas, and then starting a new job in January. So I'm pretty excited for that. So I'm your regular guy who is gonna see how far he can go, but I'm definitely not the giga gamer that most people are. So if you're down to see how I progress, please drop a follow, a like, and try it yourself. Maybe do something better. I really love the creativity part about this game. Anyway, that's all. Thanks.